Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's June 29th, 2021, and today I thought I'd give you a little bit of an update on the gooseberry propagation system we're using over here. So early this spring, I talked about how I used Bumblebee, the mini excavator, to take the mound, similar to this, of wood chips that went all the way down along here. And I took the grading bucket of the excavator and I put my bucket midway in that mound and then pulled part of it away, which left a big trench down the center of the mound. Then I went ahead and I took probably about 10 different gooseberry plants that I did have, and I laid them in the trench along this wood chip mound here. That was early in the spring. And I also went into the forest and I dug up some soil that was not the best soil because it had lots of small section of root material and seeds, and also we've had lots of weeds come up in this area. But I covered up a lot of it, but I just left a couple of pieces of the gooseberry, the new green, the buds that were just starting to emerge, exposed. And they came up. Then on June 9th, 2021, I made a video, simple layering. So what I did initially was I laid all of the gooseberries on a 45-degree angle or less. So they're almost lateral in these trenches, so that the root mass was completely buried, but some of the last year's growth was sticking up from the soil, with the leaf buds ready to emerge, and just little bits were exposed to the surface. Then on June 9th, I came out here and I made a video talking about how I'd use weed mat staples. They're about 6 inches long, and these were old rusty ones that I had, and I held them down. I took whatever was sticking up and I laid them down laterally along the surface of the ground all along in this area. Then I put the drip tape coming over this area, since we're in the midst of another drought again this year and a heat wave right now. So I put a section of drip tape down here, so each night you get a little drips of water on it. Today and one of the reasons that I did that was so that as some green material like this is laid down laterally on the surface, each one of these nodes will start to shoot up new growth coming up. So a lot of these are the new growth that started coming up. So I just took today some of this soil right here is our old soil from the microgreens. So it was a soilless mixture before growing the microgreens, meaning that there weren't any purposely incorporated microbes in that material. It was supposed to be somewhat sterile, not actually sterile, but close to it. And we grew the microgreens in it. Then the root mass of the microgreens I put into one of my bins over here. I'll show you in a moment. And I let those gradually decompose, so the microbial community that was breaking down all of the microgreens are in this soilless mixture now. And so what I've been doing is starting to cover up some of the bare areas on here. And there's a wood sorrel there again I missed when I came through. So that's what this is. I just went out back and loaded up these bins with some of our hardwood. I bought this. This is hardwood, decomposing hardwood bark. Now, bark has a lot more nutrients in it than just the carbon that the core of the trees have. So you can see here what it looks like after I get these somewhat laid down. And what I will, and these will, as long as they stay moist, these will start to shoot straight up again in a little while. So let's go over and see if we can see a good example. So here's an example here. So here's one of the buggers that was laid down laterally, and you can see this is a new shoot here, new shoot there, new shoot here. And so as we lay these down, and you see a new shoot is starting to come up right there. So that can be a whole new plant, same as that can be a whole new plant. If we lay these down, hold them down. But I'm going to give this whole section another 2 to 3 weeks to shoot up further as well. So let's go over here. And of course I have to keep pulling these weeds out. It's staghorn sumac in there. And here's a good example. So right here, as you can see this one here, as I laid this stem down on its side, this is a new shoot, new shoot, new shoot. Now it's time to go ahead and fill in soil up to about this level, and each one of these will throw out new roots, and so this will be a separate plant, this will be a separate plant, instead of this all being one plant. We want to develop roots at the base of each one of these vertical developments. So a lot of it is just getting rid of the weeds. Here's another example here. So this one is laid down, a new shoot, all along in here. And these ones I can even do more if I lay them down when I'm prepping the soil. So I hope this all makes sense as I'm going through this process. So it's quite simple. You can use old sawdust, old wood chips, you can use compost, you can use whatever to get the job done. Where did I set my gloves? Oh, they're in my pocket. You can use whatever materials you want. The wood chips that we have are really big and coarse here. I'm hoping to buy a new wood chipper here soon. My DR wood chipper I'm selling because it's just too slow a process for as much wood chips as we need here. So let's see what we can do here. I left my scoop inside. I don't want to get too much on these plants out here at one time, and one of the reasons is that I may suffocate some of the new shoots that would start to come up. So I'll only put enough that makes me feel comfortable with it so far, and so that some of the greens can just make their way up. So this one's already coming up over here. There's another one that's going to come up there. Get rid of that weed. So that's basically it, what I'll be doing the rest of the way. And I've got more weeds. Jewel weed. Go right around to the side here, and I'll get some of these. Now I've got bindweed over in here. Every time I come by here, I pull out some more bindweed, trying to exhaust the reserves in the root system. So that's what I'm doing today in the heat wave first thing in the morning. Okay, I just finished getting the rest of the soil down as much as I feel comfortable, or actually that not some of this is soil, but the rest of it is the hardwood bark mulch. So all of this is a hardwood bark mulch. You can see some of them are just sticking their tips out to the sides. Some are further out there. I'm going to let these grow more, see if I get some side shoots out of these ones. If I get more side shoots out of this one, then I'll lay it down further. But I'll get roots developed on each one of these for now. And there's a little bit of that bindweed still left there. So we'll give this a couple of weeks and see how much more we get. Then we'll be applying another layer of mulch and possibly laying a few more of the longer ones down if they're starting to get some side shoots as well. So that's it, our simple layering. Started off with an angle mounding system, but a simple layering system to get as many plants out of just a few plants as possible. So if you found this video of value, please give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and you can always refer to the propagation playlist to see some of the other techniques that we use for propagating plants on this site. Thanks so much for watching, folks, and have a super fantastic day. Bye-bye now.